What's up, everyone? This might be a shorter one, but today I'm just going to talk a little bit about a movie that I watched on Tubi last night called Godforsaken. It came out earlier in 2022, and it's directed by Ali Akbar Kamal, and it's a Canadian production about a man who returns back to his hometown for someone's wake, only to find that the person who dies somehow is reanimated, comes back to life possessed, and starts terrorizing the entire town. And that's not a spoiler, by the way. For most movies, that would be the entire plot, especially in a found footage movie, but it's just a curtain raiser for this one. Because whatever force has brought this person back to life ends up actually infecting the entire town in ways that I will leave for you to discover. That right there is doing something that's very different with the whole supernatural and possession subgenre of horror. Because so often these things are like they are in The Exorcist and a lot of these other movies. You've got like someone who's essentially confined to a space and you're just kind of watching them vomit and crab walk and climb the walls for 90 minutes. Here, not only does the possession or the spell or whatever you want to call it, not only does it spread to the entire town, but just the way they fall under the thrall of this being, which I think is a better way of describing it than saying that they are simply possessed, because they are all still, self-conscious and know who they are and where they are. It's just that their behavior becomes very unnervingly influenced by the presence of this being. Which, once again, is a million times more interesting than the standard trope of having people just kind of have their eyes roll back in their heads while they vomit and curse. Now, all this would be for naught if they weren't able to convincingly chart the way that this force spreads to the entire town. Everything is shot and written and edited in a way that creates a very convincing sense of community. And the way all the residents of the town start to form a dangerous mob as the demon's influence progresses is edited to be a very slow and steady escalation of events that is never boring and feels more tense and ungainly and unpredictable as the movie wears on. In fact, I would say that the chief characteristic that this movie showcases for director Kamal is his talent for pacing. The movie starts off with a bang and things very steadily escalate from there. Another thing that helps with the pace is the fact that this is a very lean script. Very nice to see a movie that doesn't have anything that it doesn't have to tell this particular story in it. I mean, the movie certainly isn't perfect, but it's never boring. Just like the first Blair Witch Project film, this is a movie that knows how to use very sparse, simple, minimalistic visual motifs to create a creepy atmosphere. Don't look for all the acting to land. Hammy, amateurish acting, I think, is just one of those things that you have to accept when you're watching a found footage movie. But the lead character's mom, who has to run a whole range of predicaments and emotions, is actually very good. I was able to root for her, feel sorry for her, and eventually feel scared of her without a whole lot of strained effort. Everyone else, I mean, for the most part is fine, but there are definitely a couple of parts where you can catch people acting like big time. And director Kamal makes the wise move to let the story drive the movie rather than the acting, so that never becomes a big deal. You'll notice I've kind of stayed away from discussing the story in too much detail aside from the premise, and that's because I feel like this is a story to be savored, so you should go into it blank if you want to get the best experience out of it. And like I always say with movies like this, whether you like it or not, the damn thing's only 75 minutes long, so by the time that you've decided it's not your kind of movie, it's probably already over anyway. And in addition to including a Tubi link in the description, I will also include a YouTube link because I found out afterwards, of course, that it is also available to watch free right here on YouTube on the Terror Films channel. So while I don't think this is an absolute must-watch, and it's not something that would have found its way onto my best of 2022 list, it is still well worth your time if you're a horror fan or a fan of found footage. Ali Akbar Kamal is clearly a very talented and resourceful director, so I cannot wait to see whatever he does next. Right, that's all she wrote for this one, guys. Thanks so much for watching. More content coming your way really soon, and have yourselves an awesome day.